Hello everyone, this is DeckTrolls here. This is my first time making a YouTube video ever, so let's see how this goes. Alright, this is my oldest and favorite trolley deck of all, my Al-Lumi'raj calculator. Here we go. So here are your boss monsters. Al-Lumi'raj and the calculator. If you don't know what they do, Al-Lumi'raj decreases the level and ranks of all monsters on the field by 300 per their level or rank. Sorry, I meant it decreases their attack times 300. The calculator increases its own attack by the amount of levels on the owner's side of the field. So, with cards in this deck, the calculator can get pretty beefy. And Al-Lumi'raj generally makes the rank and level monsters that your opponent owns weaker than itself, and it's level 3 with 1600 attack, so it's generally just a bit stronger than your opponent's monsters. Let's go on to the next ones. We have 3 Shining Angels, meant to search out only the calculator and itself. You can attack onto your opponent, thin out the deck a little. It's probably not always preferable unless you're not losing that many life points. But yeah, you want to get your calculator out on the field. It's your go-to card. You want it. You want it soon. Next up, we've got 3 Beast King Barbaros. Now, it's great because it's level 8. It can special summon itself onto the field by using up your normal summon. Sure, it becomes 1900, but that doesn't really matter much, because if the calculator is on the field, since this is level 8, your calculator gains 300 times 8 in attack, plus the 200 the 2 levels that it has of its own, basically 10. So it's at 3000, just like that. As I said, with other cards, it can get even beefier. So yeah, it's great. It's a beat stick. It helps your calculator. It helps itself. Special summons, and if you want, eventually you can special summon from the grave, get it back to 3000. It'll be fun. By the way, this card, it hates Al-Lumi'raj. It'll make it go down to 0 attack, but if you can win before that becomes a huge problem, that'd be great. Next, we've got 3 Raging Flame Sprite, because this is a trolley deck. I love being trolly. I love attacking directly. Why not? I have cards in here that can stall. It's great. I love it. If it attacks directly, it gains 1000, keeps attacking. It's great. Love it. And lastly, 1 Flamvell Guard. Now, when I made this deck, I failed to realize that both it and Al-Lumi'raj are tuners. So you could have tuners in this deck. I do not. I should, you should, you could. It is preferable. It is a great idea. By the way, I have this in this deck because it is a level 1. It has 2000 defense with the calculator on the field or Al-Lumi'raj. It doesn't matter. It helps either way. Al-Lumi'raj makes so that you still have a pretty impenetrable shield. It's going to be down to 1700 defense, but that's going to be a lot higher than anything your opponent has if it doesn't have cards to increase its attack to, like, I don't know, skyrocket amounts. Now, onto the spells. We have 3 Ground Collapse because it's freaking trolly. It's funny. It's mean, but it's great. Basically, if you don't know what it does, you activate this card and you take up 2 of your opponent's monster zones, or if your opponent only has 1 monster zone available, you take up 1 of theirs and 1 of yours, or if you want to, you could take up 2 of yours. Why would you do that? I don't know, but you can. You just can. We've got 3 Deck Lockdown. because honestly, this deck isn't as consistent as I want it to be. I might work on it later, but for now, Deck Lockdown will slow down your opponent's more consistent decks to help you get the edge and try to win. So yeah. Speaking of slowing your opponent down, we've got 3 Swords of Revealing Light. Everyone knows what it does. If you don't know what it does, your opponent cannot declare an attack for 3 turns as long as this card remains on the field until the end of their 3rd turn. Then it's destroyed. There you go. Got 2 synchro boosts. It'll help your calculator mostly because it increases the attack by 500 and the level by 1. So for most, it'll give them 500 more attack, but for the calculator, it'll give it an extra 800 because of calculator's own effect. And to help you get over other beefier monsters, you got 2 Backup Rider. It increases your monster by 1500 attack. So whether it's a Al-Lumi'raj or the calculator, doesn't matter. It'll help you. It'll increase by 1500 attack. It'll help you get over those beefy monsters. No one wants to be the one against the beefy monster, so why don't you be the one? Lastly, for the spells, got 1 Lightning Vortex because I don't want to buy a Raigeki because I cannot right now. It's too much for me. Just can't. It's too much. Field Wipe. Last are the traps. So, we have something that is interesting here. We have 3 Metal Reflect Slime. It is a trap monster. It is very beefy. It's an amazing shield. It has 3000 defense. It is level 10 because it's a trap monster, and it works amazing with your calculator because it's a level 10. It will give the calculator an automatic 3000 attack boost, which makes your calculator, those are the only 2 cards on the field, 3600. This is what I mean. These are the cards. You just beef it up. If you get 3 of these, 1 calculator, your opponent attacks you, summon these, well, technically your opponent can stop their attack, but you can attack them. So that's great. Also, this card is part of a card combo. It's not a very elaborate card combo. It's very simple, but here it is. 3, the Statue of Anguish pattern. Basically, when this card is summoned, if you already have a monster trap on the field, it could be Metal Reflect Slime or another copy of itself, you can pop a card on your opponent's side of the field. It's as simple as that. So you can pop their monster, you can pop their spell, field spell, trap, whatever, pendulum, monster, zone, whatever, and then it just get whatever's in your way out of the way. And lastly, we have 2 Magic Cylinder, 1 Mirror Force, and 1 Call of the Haunted. I know, a lot of people don't like Magic Cylinder because it targets, but I love this card. It's funny, it's trolly, it's great. Yeah, so this is the deck lineup of my deck. I have no extra deck. I will put in synchro monsters, but as of right now, tell me what you think. My first video. Please don't be too harsh. Give me some ideas. What would you do to make it better? And have fun.